5th birthday celebration for the city of Myrtle Beach. And actually that's what I was going to throw in there. In case you haven't seen her name in the paper, there's 2 events coming up that are going to be at Chapin Library. Lesta is one of the main people at the library, and there's going to be 2 different functions there talking about history of Myrtle Beach, which should be really phenomenal and really interesting. It is with great pleasure this evening I introduce our first speaker, Miss Lesta Hardee.
Good evening. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. I've got to get my little pictures ready. How did Myrtle Beach go from this, covered wagons, dirt roads, to this? When you attend the Remembering Myrtle Beach, a local history series program that begins June 1st, this Saturday, 11 a.m. It's a year-long program that I've got planned. We'll be in the downstairs meeting room at the Chapin Library. You'll find out the answers to these questions and many more. Through this series, we will travel down the proverbial memory lane, following what began as dirt roads and railroad tracks to arrive at our destination, Myrtle Beach of yesterday. At the first program, June 1st, you'll hear Tempe Hughes-Ayler speak about how her father was commissioned by Myrtle Beach Farms to draw the original maps of Myrtle Beach. When I was looking at the 1955 version of these maps, there's just a little space in there, which I brought this map, of where I actually grew up. All the roads kind of dead-ended to this little space, but I actually grew up in that little space there. She's also going to speak about how Hurricane Hazel just about wiped Myrtle Beach off the map. It destroyed a lot of Myrtle Beach, but it also put us on the map as a tourist destination, and how in 1955 she went to work for the Chamber of Commerce at the newly created News Bureau. Her job was to get the word out to everyone all over the world that Myrtle Beach was open for business, better than ever, and the prime tourist destination of the East Coast. The June 15th topic is the Myrtle Beach Pavilion, a favorite of mine. We're going to be talking, Janice McDonald and I will be talking about the history of Myrtle Beach and how it grew out of a bathhouse and became a favorite meeting spot for locals and tourists alike. Joining us in our discussion will be Rich Hare. He's the retired Senior Vice President of the Burroughs and Chapin Amusements, which included the pavilion. He was the last general manager before the pavilion was torn down. He's got some fun and fascinating stories. He said he could talk forever, but I'm limiting him to an hour. He's going to be talking about the pavilion, the games, the rides, all the colorful characters and performers that came to the pavilion over the years. For July, I've scheduled 2 topics. July 6th will be radio and music. Deacon Dawson, better known as the Freakin' Deacon, and Bill Hennessy, both longtime DJs in this area. We'll be talking about radio and music history, the international stars that have come here over the years. The second program will be Yvonne Fleming Benton. She's going to talk about how her mother was hired as the first telephone operator for Myrtle Beach. The telephone was in their house, and she's going to tell stories about how, well, let's put it this way, it was the only telephone for a long time, and somebody had to go tell the people that they had a phone call. She's going to talk about the first long-distance phone call ever made out of Myrtle Beach. That'll be July 20th. Over the next few months, I've got speakers lined up to discuss Myrtle Beach Air Force Base, its impact on the city, the surrounding areas, We'll speak with descendants of the first real estate agent of Myrtle Beach. That family actually still has a real estate company in Myrtle Beach. Education in the first schools in the 1900s and the 1960s, segregation. Beach music, shag, Old Charlie's Place on the hill, where whites and black would dance the night away just because they wanted to dance. The Ku Klux Klan, they put a stop to that when they shot up Old Charlie's Place late one night. The German POW camps during World War II, and how residents were fined if they didn't black out their windows at night. The Burroughs, Mr. Chapin, Arcading, the Woodside Brothers, the Ocean Forest Hotel, Pine Lakes, and the start of a little magazine called Sports Illustrated. Ocean View Hospital is linked to the Sun Fun Festival. How you could and would get arrested, thrown in jail, and fined if you weren't wearing shorts or a bathing suit during Sun Fun. Like any town growing up, Myrtle Beach is filled with firsts. We'll hear about the first bank teller, the first bank, the first hotel, the first pier, the first library, the first paved road, the first store, the first business that got air conditioning, or actually the first place that got air conditioning. The evolution of the guest house to the mom and pop motels to the first high-rise hotel, which was 9 stories. Sports, golf, and the rise of the miniature golf course. In celebration of the City of Myrtle Beach's 75th birthday, I've designed this year-long series to give a glimpse into our past, to allow the people who lived it to share their stories with us, so that we can see how the past shaped our history and made us, Myrtle Beach, who we are today. When we give away or forget our history, we give away and forget who we are. Hopefully this series, Remembering Myrtle Beach, will remind us who we are and guide us to who we want to be. The series begins June 1st, Chapin Library at 11 a.m. Join me as we sit back and reminisce the old Myrtle Beach.